Yeshua had a Y chromosome. He was an ET beyond ET. He does it. We stand back and go, wow, thank you for letting me witness, which is not, have you found Jesus? No, witnessing is, wow, did you see that? I saw that.
I think we're on the same page with this science thing, because we've been talking at the mosque about like the biorhythms of the heart, and when you do your salah, you're pointing to the Qibla, and the Qibla is on the divine ratio, positioned on the earth according to the divine. The golden mean, golden ratio. The same thing, the pyramids and our bodies have this mean, with the way our joints are spaced apart in a ratio, is also the positioning of Mecca in relation to the equator, and then coming out of Mecca is a biowave that NASA was able to see. And when I forgot who the first guy on the moon, or one of those astronauts, yeah, I think it was Armstrong, was out in space, and he's like, my God, it's hanging by a string. So the Earth looks like, and then the Quran says like it is like literally like it looks like it's hanging by a string, and this string's coming out of the Qibla, and it goes into infinity pretty much. They said it just keeps going out of the solar system. They can measure the waves, and that's like where we're praying towards. Is it said when the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he changed the Qibla from Jerusalem to, like, when it was Jerusalem, the Jews kind of accepted Islam a little bit. But when he moved it to Mecca, then when he had the revelation that the Qibla would be Mecca, then there was a little dispute after that.
Well, realize that Mecca is where...
It's Becca.
Mecca is where the Kaaba stone is, and that's a meteorite. Okay.
And Mecca is Becca in older lore. It's called Becca instead of Mecca.
Right, but it's a meteorite. Okay, and so when you have a foreign body coming onto the planet, it makes an impression of some kind, not just emotionally, not just, but especially spiritually. Okay, when you understand what those different things are, then you go, oh, I get it. Okay, so we want to be able to get it sooner than later. And what we're getting is that there's a frequency of thought, a perception. Your daughter has been listening this whole time, right?
She stopped halfway through, but I'm listening now.
Well, she needs to hear this too.
Okay, well, I actually do have a tape recorder, right, so I can listen later, because I want to when you say things and I forget what you say, like an hour later. So yeah, I'm recording.
Mecca is the center of our is considered, quote unquote, the center. Okay, this is where the altar of Abraham was. It says this is the center of the earth.
It's possibly the first. It's possibly the first altar that Adam built, and then Jerusalem, Moscow, Alaska was where the location of the second one Adam built.
Okay, and if you look at time and how the concentric circles of things go out from a center or a pole of some kind, okay, following?
Yeah.
Okay, then you begin to see patterns, and you know how to pray or send things into the center of a focal point or a vortex in order for it to go beyond where we are to where things can be really reckoned with or changed or answers to prayers or however you want to look at it. But that's what we're talking about. And so That's what Mecha does, because that is the center of the earth, or the frequency pattern of where things spiralize out like a shell pattern, a Fibonacci series of 1, 1, right? You know what I mean? Fibonacci series.
These Islamic scientists speculated that it goes on into infinity to a holy Kaaba and a celestial Kaaba.
Well, of course. Look at things on terms of physical, and then astral, and then causal. Causal is more heavenly, right? Astral is more, you'll find the ghost world and things that are not necessarily real or true. They're more like their ideas of what happens rather than the reality of life. Understand?
So we're probably supposed to be focusing more on what was sent down to the messengers through the angel Gabriel.
Noise on the line. What?
What came down to the messengers from the angel Jibril would be more the message directly from the source, or Allah. The difference between causal and just the truth, or
well, truth is truth, and causal is just the level of understanding. Next level up, or this level down. You know, where are you relating to it? You know, there's a spiritual level, a physical level, a time.
Did I tell you when Sherry Shriner, when I told, remember when you used to tell me don't go down south into New Mexico because you sense some radiation down there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sherry Shriner said that she had put up barriers in the work she did in Dulce, New Mexico. She said she put up barriers that hold back whatever it's holding back from Dulce to Boulder.
What? Well,
from Sherry Shriner's like orgone work that she did. She's holding back the wormwood.
Well, I'm just trying to do what little I can along this particular